Let's get busy.
Live from the Shooting from the Lip studio in Louisville, Kentucky, it's time for Shooting Stars with your hosts Kevin Hale and Greg Unthank.
What is up, everyone? Kevin Hale, Greg, giving it to you on this Tuesday night, January 24th, 2017, live via Blog Talk Radio. G-Money, Unthank. What's up, Groove Man?
What's up, K-Dog Hale.
Hale.
The K-Dog, yeah.
You know,
Hale.
as we're doing this show, we're missing our cats.
Actually, I just turned on the cats.
Trying to be a good soldier, I don't have it on so I can stay in
focus.
Stay focused with the show.
Yeah.
What's been up? How have you been?
I've been really busy since about Sunday. My wife had some health issues, and we had to go to the hospital for a few days. Had some tests run on her, and everything came up really good. Discovered that she's just started some medicine, and that medicine didn't agree with her, and it caused her to react a few in a way. So got that out of the way, and back to normal life today. And it's just living a dream.
Back to reality. Sing it. I can't be the only singer on the show.
You are, because you've never heard me sing.
Oh yes, wait a minute. Yes, I have. Do we need to go back to elementary school again?
Oh, here we go. Not that. No, let's not do that. That's before I reached
no
puberty.
Gigs. It is, yeah. We were still our little bushes were starting to spring out. That's totally digressing there. Exactly. And the wind would cause even the wind would back in that day would cause moments for us. But you got what's going on? Give us a little shout out. What's going on with you? Spare Change, Blue Funk, anything new in the near future?
Well, Spare Change is playing next Saturday at TK's. So come on out, dig that, and then really excited. Blue Funk is actually Friday. We're going to start laying tracks for the CD that we're going to record. We've been actually in the studio just kind of rehearsing. We're lucky enough to be friends with the engineer, and he's let us go into the studio and just kind of rehearse. And we've actually written 3 new songs while in the studio, and we're going to go ahead and start laying tracks Friday. So should have about 10, 11 song CD.
Cool.
Start working on that, and then Brian Fox, I actually go next week into a studio to lay some drum tracks for a single, and he's going to re-record one of his older songs with me on it and the band, and I think we're going to shoot a cool video for that. So that's going to be up and coming in the future.
Nice.
So,
Very cool.
Yeah.
You know, I ran across, I have to give credit where credit's due, LouisvilleMusicNews.net. I came across their website, Greg, and they actually have on their homepage something I've really been trying to find in one spot. And it's band gigs throughout the week at various locations.
Wow.
So, you know, to stay true to promoting local music, periodically I'll throw out some of these locations, dates, and bands where they're playing at to keep the people informed and hashtag support local music. So there you go.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
Get the party started. We turning on his mic there. See, he was on our show whenever we were promoting bands for KevFest. Greg, I'm sure you remember, but Peter came on, was on briefly. He didn't have, we didn't have a lot of time. We had several bands and musicians come on. So I felt like we didn't give we didn't get enough out of him. So tonight, whether
Right.
it's Peter Searcy 2.0 or part 2, anyways, Peter is on
The
and
sequel.
alive.
Yes, Peter Searcy,
The sequel. Yeah.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
What's up,
Hey,
man?
Peter, how you doing, man?
Doing great, Greg.
Good to have you on
Doing
again.
Yeah, it's good to be here. It's good to be here. Greg sounds like you got a lot of drumming gigs going.
I got a little bit going on. Yeah. Actually, 2017 is going to be a little slower for me, and I'm all good with that. I'm all good with that. The paying gigs, I think I should say, is going to slow down a little bit. Fair Change has decided to cut back on our gigs, and just because we just want to do it like once a month, and then I got these other two projects that doesn't play very much either. So,
well,
but that's,
Greg,
it leaves more for each time you play.
It does, man.
Right.
It gets me more excited, But
Sure.
plus the other two gigs are the original thing. It's more of the art, more of the art of the music. So,
Right.
I dig that, man. I've gotten
Greg,
into
as
more
I've
of
come
what you do lately.
Right, Greg, as I've come to know you, though, you say that, but that band who is needing a fill-in because you can come and you fucking kill it for stand-ins, those ones. You're going to get those calls throughout the year as well. So,
Yeah, I'll get those calls. Those are fun too. Yeah.
Right. All right.
But
Let's
enough
talk
about
Peter.
me.
Yeah. Enough about Peter and his miniature great white. That is, I've been following your Facebook post with the little shark.
Gilbert,
yeah.
my baby great white. Yeah, Gilbert.
I like
Gilbert's
that.
doing well. He's actually he's upstairs now. He's just resting. I
He-
mean, you know how babies are. They get
they need a lot of rest.
right now. He's just down. Yeah, but he'll wake up in the middle of the night. He wakes up, kind of flops around a little bit. I've got to take him out. He's got to go to the bathroom.
We are talking
a lot of
about
work.
Gilbert, the baby great white, right? That's what
He's
waking up
he's a
and
baby
flopping
great
around
white
them.
shark.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's a baby great white. It's I just took him to California. We were looking for his mother out there, and unfortunately,
Very nice.
we did not find her.
No.
But I don't even know how that would go because she gave him up. I just feel like he needs to know her somehow or another. I don't know. She tried to eat him, which was
Well, maybe as he gets older, he could handle it more, better emotionally when he gets older. Yeah.
This is uncharted territory raising a great white.
It's uncharted waters, right?
Uncharted waters, yes, exactly. Exactly. So, Gilbert, I'm sure will be making some more appearances on my Facebook page shortly.
Sweet.
I'm curious when Gilbert hears dun dun dun. This is like fins perk up, or what's that response like?
For him, that's what I sing to him to put him to bed. It's just we just play the John Williams, the soundtrack from Jaws.
The John Williams.
And
So he likes the classic.
The classics.
I just put the John Williams soundtrack from Jaws on it. It puts him to sleep. It's great.
Sweet.
Well, we're going to wake up everyone with the Peter Searcy soundtrack, and that's the life soundtrack. So, quick bio on Searcy's all about.
I lost you there for a minute.
You're cutting
my
out
bad.
just a little bit, Kev, here and there.
Am I? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Give us the quick Peter Searcy bio.
Peter Searcy bio. Started playing in bands, original bands, when I was probably 15. My first band was a band called Squirrel Bait, and we had a record deal on an indie label out of New York called Homestead, and played CBGBs at age 17, 18, and it's a short-lived band, maybe just a couple years, but it really it left a mark, and a lot of people really like it. And then after that, I did a couple bands. I did a band called Big Wheel, which was on Mammoth Records, and then I did a band after that called Starbilly. And then after that, I decided that I really wanted to be a solo artist. I felt like I was writing self-contained songs, and really just wanted to pursue working on them by myself and just with other musicians that I chose to use. So then had a couple different major label releases on that, and some indie label releases, and I've got a new release that is going to come out sometime in March. We're trying to figure the exact date out right now, but really happy with that. It's I played pretty much everything on it except for the drums, which I'd never really done that before. So I got to experience my inner rock guitar player, and it's definitely kind of it's definitely a rock album. Kind of thought about what would, other than playing the drums, what would Dave Grohl do in this kind of situation? Just really simple melodic rock stuff with big hooks, and it was really fun to do. Fun to play all the guitars on it.
So you're just
quick.
like that is quick, but honestly, man, something in there I wanted to bring up is you played CBGBs at 17 years old. That's pretty freaking cool, dude. Because my brother, he went to New York just to visit. I've never been there. He went there to visit, and one of his had to stops is CBGBs. That's a very famous place. Well, I guess it used to be. It's not there anymore, is it?
Yeah, it's not there anymore. No.
It's like a bucket list place for some people, I'm sure, man. It's like, wow.
I've been super lucky and privileged to play, a few bucket list places for me. CBGB's was a real hole in the wall, but it had history oozing out of it. There was another club across the river that I equally was important to me called Maxwell's over in Hoboken, so pretty famous joint too. And then got to play the Austin City Limits stage.
Oh wow!
And I can confirm that is not the actual city of Austin behind it, but a backdrop. Because I know as a kid, you'd always look at it like, really, the city behind there? I've been lucky, man. I've been able to play a lot.
You put the work into it, that's for sure. You got the talent, you put the work into it. So,
I definitely have put a lot of years into it for sure.
Yeah.
You
got a video, right? A new video?
Yeah.
I do. I've got a new video I did with a guy named Chris Whitkey. He and I've worked on a number of videos together. I really kind of enjoy. He's an artist, but he comes up with his own concepts, but he's not afraid if someone else's concept to just see the vision, see his vision through on their concept, which is what we tend to do. I'll come up with the concept, and then we'll kind of work together to make it happen. And we did a video for Better Lie and gotten a really nice response. Better Lie is the first single off the album, and the video's done really well.
Well, that's great. That's great.
If by doing really well, it means my mom watched it, 20 times over and over again, clicking on it. Then it's done.
Well, we watched it too. And we watched it.
Yeah. If we can get the approval of mom, it's going good, man. It's going well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was proud of that. When we got to do another one, and I've already got another video. There's 7 songs on it's like it's an extended EP, and we've got 2 videos already done for it. One's already been come out. So got to get another video I just enjoy doing them. I think it's equally enjoyable and creative to do them. So I got to do a new one for the next single that we're going to release.
Cool. You bring up something that I've always kind of been clueless about, and when it comes to EPs and LPs, I know EPs are generally 4 or 5 songs, and then LPs are obviously more. But you mentioned an extended. Is that really a say? Because I've heard people say that. So is there?
I don't know if it's really a thing, but the vinyl. We just we got the vinyl in. And, it's regular vinyl size. There's just, 3 songs on one side and 4 on the other. So, it's not a 10-inch record. It's a regular 12-inch.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, I guess it's, an extended EP is what I would. I don't know if there is an official, if you can officially call it one or the other. So
works for me. You mentioned Dave Grohl. You mentioned Dave Grohl. Is he an influence? Share some of the cats out there that you kind of pride yourself in, sounding like or learning from.
I like Dave Grohl in that I think he's a really good melodic writer. I'm a huge fan of pop rock in the sense of chorus or verse chorus, bridge, outro. I just like harmonies and electric guitars. I like my pop rock to have a little bit of a little bit of grit on it. But I still kind of like, I still like a little sugar on it. I like, and speaking of which, sugar, Bob Mould is a huge influence of mine. Was listening to, Matthew Sweet is a huge influence of mine.
Yeah.
Really love a band called Not a Surf. I think they're really fantastic and write great songs, songs that I try to write, songs that I would like to write more, like I hear them and think, gosh, I really wish I'd written that song. And, we all grew up on Beatles and Stones and stuff like that. So, that's there. That's almost like that's food and water. So I don't ever list those bands because they're just part of fiber. It's the things you find on your own when you're, a teenager that your parents didn't turn you on to that becomes, those are the important things. So, I grew up, I went to a school called the Brown School, and there were a bunch of kids who were a little older. It's always the kids who are older influencing you. And they were into a lot of punk rock and kind of new wave stuff. And that was what I got into because of that. So,
growing up, listening with, say, your family into music, I've always, because I admit I was guilty of this too. Growing up, or my kids, having kids, and as they were little and we're in the car, I always found myself with the radio, because I could then. They were too little to dictate what I was going to listen to. What was some music that your parents just was so into and that you were like, I just don't want to listen to that music anymore?
I don't think there was anything that my parents listened to that I didn't want to listen to. My mom had a kind of more folk rock kind of, my parents were separated. So my mom had a more like a folk rock, James Taylor, Beatles, Simon and Garfunkel, that kind of thing. I love all that stuff. My dad was a little more out there, with like bands like Spirit, Taj Mahal, Mott the Hoople, things like that I got turned on to that I wouldn't have heard, anywhere else. Right. And then I was just really lucky. I went to a school that was kind of a free thinking school. So, I didn't have to, I wasn't, you could hear classic rock all day long on LRS, growing up, hear the same 40 songs. But I was lucky to go to a school that I got turned on to music that I might not have been turned on to at that early an age. And also, this is pre-internet. This is pre-ever, you found music through your peers. Right. Or, we also found it through, some magazines, through, a magazine called, Forced Exposure or Maximum Rock and Roll or things like that. Right. You read the reviews and it just seemed like the coolest thing in the world, all these
That's
bands.
Exactly how I found new music through magazines.
Sure. Yeah. Well, and then we were lucky, in Louisville, we had something a lot of towns didn't have our size at that point, was we had Ear Ecstasy. We had a place.
Ear Ecstasy, man.
You had a place you could go and peruse through the bins or talk to somebody, and they had those magazines, and it was a special time. I mean, there's absolutely no way to get that again because the world is the world is completely open now. It's hard to have just pockets of uniqueness that Louisville was at that time.
Right. Man, I miss going and buying a record, and I miss sitting there and listening to the record and reading the liner notes and looking at the art, the sleeve art and all that stuff that come with that little package. Man, that was so exciting to me.
Well, it is, and and album artwork, lost its luster when it got shrunken down to the CD cover. Because no longer were you working on a 1 foot by 1 foot space. You were working on a whatever it is, a 6 by 6 or 7 by 7 space. And then now to a certain degree it's just online. But with the resurgence of vinyl, I mean, my new album is on vinyl. It's got liner notes. It's got every. I always used to love to read who played on things.
Yeah,
I don't know if you ever remember the Maria Muldaur album with Midnight at the Oasis on it. But on the back of it, on the back of it, it had like pictures of 15 musicians and their names underneath it, and it would say which, what instrument they played. And all of them, at the time were all bearded. I go back and look at it now, and I can't remember who they were, but there about 5 of them were total LA heavy hitters, just total, session guys. And that stuff fascinates me. It's fascinating to read on a Carpenter's album, Hal Blaine playing drums on it, Right. Thought it was Karen Carpenter. No, it's Hal Blaine,
Yeah.
So I'm a fan of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, that's cool that your new one is out on vinyl like that. It seems to be resurging. It's coming back.
It absolutely is, and the vinyl, Eastwood Records is putting it out, and the vinyl is nice, heavy vinyl. There's something just really tactile and wonderful. You're right about putting an album on, listening to it, and flipping it over. It keeps you engaged in it. It's too easy. It's too easy, and it also, that's why they're album tracks. You couldn't just go skip them unless you wanted to walk over there, lift the needle, shift it, and put it down. You listen to the album track. I think it's, and kids like it. I don't have any kids, but I've got friends who have kids, and they say that they really enjoy the experience of putting an album on. And you guys, you remember the kid albums you had, like, the Sesame Streets or the Yuzu Review album or whatever. That was as a kid, man, you loved putting that stuff on.
Snoopy's Christmas, dude, that was my favorite. That was all year round for me.
All year round.
Yeah. And now, another thing which I never realized is that the LPs, the vinyl, and I had to be told this because actually I'd never compared the two, but they say that the vinyl even is a better quality sound than if you were to throw in a CD.
Well, I think it just depends on what, I think it depends on what you're listening to. And I've sat at a friend of mine's house who has he's an audiophile and has the end-all be-all system of tons of just everything's expensive on it. Cables are expensive. The power source is expensive, and it's amazing listening to a really well-produced album on vinyl. It colors it. I would say it's like a really good tube amp. It really colors the songs in a great way. But then again, some things sound really awesome with the digital clarity. It's always going to go back and forth. At some point somebody's going to say that.
It's made me want to go out and buy a turntable, that's for sure. Because, my old Pioneer is gone, man. It's been dead a long time.
Now, you know what I recently bought? I recently bought one of those turntables, probably been over a year. One of those turntables now that you just plug laptop and through the USB and all these vinyl, Greg, that I have on there, and it creates now an MP3.
I thought you were going to say you're scratching.
Yeah, well, get into it. Yeah.
Now, Peter, I've heard Better Live. Great stuff. Great sound. What was the rhyme and reason, the mindset when you did put this extended EP together? Better Lie is like, I've had that thought for a long time, of I love the idea of just trying to tell somebody, if you're gonna lie to me, just at least try to do a good job at it. Don't just mail it in. Try to come up with something good. So I was going through a divorce at the time, but that song is not really all that much about that, honestly, at the end of the day. The ideas had been around for a while. So, I can't really say that it's about that. It's just about it's just going to the well. We've all had enough relationships in our lives that we can go to the well and mine the lyrical gems that are there and the ideas that we've had. So,
that brings up a question for me, being that I've been in a writing situation with the new band for about a year and a half now. It's all kind of new, and we're collaborating together. When you are writing a song, being that you're doing the writing, the lyrics, and you're also doing the playing, the guitars. Do you have a system of how you're going to write a song? Do you like come up with lyrics first and then try to come up with a riff, or do you come up with a riff and write the lyric to the riff, a subject matter, and then put that to the riff? How does that work? Do you have a system, or do you just kind of however it happens?
On this last album, I came up with a couple of the songs happened simultaneously, like old school style with a pen and paper and an acoustic guitar. But I had a lot of luck with playing guitar to a click and getting a kind of a vibe going. And then I would come up with a chorus and maybe a pre-chorus, and then bring the drummer in and have the drummer play it. And then I would fill the song out from there. And then after that, I'd sit there in front of the speakers with the microphone in front of me and sing what came to my head for the verses. And it freed me up to not write within the same kind of style that I've written and the same kind of, it's just easy to fall into a pattern. And this kind of kept me from doing that. And I thought it really kind of opened up some different phrasing. Yeah. And it takes you, and you go down a couple different paths, and I'm sitting there by myself, so there's no need to be self-conscious while doing it. You just sing if it sounds good, and then come back and listen to it, the next day, or take a break and then come back and see if it's telling the story you want it to tell. See if it's moving the song.
That does make a difference, going back, letting it sit there for a minute, or a day, and then going back, because you hear differently, you're thinking differently, your emotions are in a different spot, so you got to see if it works again. I understand that.
Yeah,
too.
And I do a lot of writing, like when I'm pre falling asleep. I just lay there in my head and work on lyrics, and it doesn't make for the best sleeping situation, but it does. It's a kind of a good. You're almost in between awake and asleep, and I typically can remember them the next day, or enough of the. I don't get up and write it down. I just kind of think about it, and then it's just kind of. I think you're open. Your head's open into a different space at that point. So
yeah, I agree. I understand. Well, that's cool. Yeah.
Greg, have you and Peter performed together? On stage.
No, and I actually
not like any.
No, actually, the first time I met Peter was at Cat Fest. He actually came up and said hi to me, man, and that's the first time we actually met. So
yep,
yeah, they sounded great.
Yeah,
they said, yeah.
That was fun. I'm lucky.
Yeah,
I've got some good guys to play with. I've got a great live band, and occasionally some of those guys come in and play on things. This was just. Not the album for them to do that on. Although I did have Eric, the guitar player, Eric Horton, came in. I played a guitar line, and I wanted the guitar line to also have a slide guitar line on top of it doing the same exact thing. And I just couldn't play the slide on it, so I had him come in and do that. And then I had Eric's great. And then I have two different drummers that play with me. I have Ryan Murphy plays with me, and then I have Scott Langford. Not at the same time. It's not like it's not like the Allman Brothers.
Like the Allman Brothers,
yeah. But I'm just lucky. I've got two great guys, and then a guy named Jeff Crane on bass, and
I know him as Pig Buddy. That's Pig Buddy.
Yeah. And then Chris Fuller on keyboards, and then my best friend since fourth grade, and a fantastic musician, a guy named Chris Hopp, who sings backup and plays rhythm with me. So it's a great rock band. I like to it's really full sounding and good players.
Oh, get out and play some more, man. I want to come check you guys out some more.
Well, we will. I got to set up I've got to do an album release show at some point. I don't know when that's going to be. I'm living in Atlanta, so I've been down in Atlanta for about 2 months now, and got to schedule that album release show. I know I'm playing a Waterfront Wednesday at the end of May that I'm really excited about. That'll be fun. But we'll do an album release before that, I'm sure.
So are you into the Atlanta Falcons hype right now?
I love football, and I love pro football. I haven't really followed them, but I certainly will. I mean, I know the team. I know most of the players on it. But I will. We'll certainly. It'll be exciting to be down here for it. So.
Yeah, sure. Cool.
It will be fun. No, I was, the UK game's on right now. I watched the U of L trouncing earlier.
Good God. Just saw the score not too long ago in that game.
Yeah.
50-some points. What was it? Holy hell.
It was pretty sad. It was a bad. They were just hitting on all cylinders. I mean, their little.
I don't care.
Ryan McMahon.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care who you are, but if you're a Division I school, in this case an ACC Power 5 school, and you lose a home game by over 50 points, the coach has to be on. He's got to be. That to me, that's inexcusable.
Louisville won. They won by over 50 points.
Yeah, they kicked the coach got kicked out of the game. Yeah, Pittsburgh by.
Well,
yeah, it was
right now.
Yeah, good Lord. Tucky's losing, by the way, Greg.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Yeah. So, all right, enough sport talk. All right, Peter. Wrapping up. Well, go ahead, wrapping up.
Right on.
Just all of the ways to connect with you on social media.
You can like the Peter Searcy fan page on Facebook. You can just like my regular Peter Searcy profile on Facebook. Got to get my website going, but I'm old and sometimes I don't care about that kind of stuff.
And your Twitter going.
Yeah, I really tweet a lot. And then there's just go to iTunes. Go to iTunes and YouTube and just put Peter Searcy in, and there's tons of music to be had.
Yeah.
You can go to Eastwood 502. I think it's Eastwood 502, Eastwood Records 502. I think it's Eastwood Records 502.com. And, there's all sorts of good bands on there, and you can check my band out or me out. And, say hi on the Facebook. I'll say hi back.
Well, awesome. Well, good stuff, man. I really enjoy your music, man. Look forward to more of it.
You.
And all the listeners do that. Go check out his stuff. Check him out when he's playing.
Please do. And
keep your fingers away from the shark when he's eating.
It
could be bad for a musician.
He's just teasing.
He's just
teasing. So,
all
right, guys.
He's nibbling now.
Thanks
for having me on the show. All right.
All right. Take care, Peter. Good stuff. Peter Searcy hanging with us tonight, sharing his Gilbert stories. Greg Gilbert, his little baby great white.
Man. He's a real deal, man. He's a good musician. Yeah. He knows his stuff, and it's good to have him on.
I wasn't gonna.
I admire a guy like that for sure.
Yeah, and I'm always. I think you know this too. I'm definitely partial to all the musicians who do create their own stuff, and I don't need to be per se a fan of a genre, but I have so much respect for anybody who takes the time to do original stuff, and I'll sit and listen to everything, even grass or whatever, just because I can. Something Fest, and I know Kev Fest was huge here in Louisville. Kevin, good guy, going through his situation. Now it added that genre. It was kind of a different, it was a certain music and musicians that were performing. But without, I didn't want to put Peter on the spot, but and Greg, you were part of it too. To me, when you go to an event like it, when there's an event like that, and local musicians get to be part of it. Be a straight shooter here, Greg. It says something, about you, your band, all the acts that are part of, a benefit like that, a named benefit like that. It says something. That's credit to the musicians to me. Wrong?
Well, I mean, no. I mean, I just think everybody's just chipping in, no matter if they're doing originals, if they're doing cover tunes. They're chipping in for the cause, and you have to respect one another for that. At least for that. Not to mention just the fact that you all are playing in town, doing the same thing because you love music. That's why you started doing it. No matter what you're doing, you may like one thing better than the other, but that doesn't really give you a right to make fun of what somebody else is doing. I made
Here we go.
Made that point a couple of weeks ago, but
Yeah.
yeah, man, Kev Fest was just the love of music for a friend and helping, using that music for a source of money to help a friend, and it was very cool that so many great artists were involved in it, no matter how they did it, and yeah, it was a great event.
All right, Greg, moving on, turning on her mic, Desiree Thayer. Desiree is somebody, Greg, I've known for, damn, Des, I don't want to, call out our age, but we go back a while. Yeah, and actually, yeah, Greg, she and I first connected from a business perspective, corporate world, where her work and my work had a connection, and that's how I first got to know Desiree. And then, when you find one that you respect from, say, the business side, is a musician, things, that whole persona takes a whole different other level up, a notch or two. So,
yeah,
Desiree, welcome to the show.
Wow. Well, what a very nice introduction, Mr. Kevin Hale.
Right.
And
What's up
Greg,
with you?
it's always nice to talk with you. Man, so many cool things are happening. It's just, I don't even know where to start. But I guess we'll start with my favorite thing is the Louisville Muse Cruise. We're doing a big music cruise the day before the Great Steamboat Race on the Great Steamboat during Derby Week. And it's going to be Eastwood Records, which you just had Peter Searcy on because he's on Eastwood label. Eastwood's going to put out 2 artists. Earth Tone Analog's going to put out 2 artists. And we are going to cruise down the mighty river and have a lot of fun. So it's one of them. And then I'm singing a lot of, yeah. And then it's a Genius Loves Company production. So if you go to geniuslovescompany.org, you can look at our events and get some more information about it. But, I get the opportunity to sing atop of my favorite restaurant in downtown Louisville, 8 Up, on Thursday evenings. And I sing with the Starry Night Blues Band. I'll be there this Thursday. And so singing and playing music and surrounding myself with brilliant minds, what I love to do.
There you go.
Greg, I liked how
Brilliant
she took
mind.
this. She basically just hijacked our segment. Everything I was going to ask her, she just spoke. But that's okay.
Damn it!
That's all your fault, how I know Desiree. She's a take charge. Yeah.
That's what we need.
Yeah. So
sometimes we need that. We
Yeah.
need someone to set us straight every once in a while.
I'll whip you up into shape.
That's
Yeah.
it. We need a woman to whip us all in shape.
well, let's
Go ahead.
let's get some Desiree background, if you will. Tell us some of how music all started for you, and bring us up to speed.
Okay. Well, my daddy was a steel guitar player growing up, so I used to listen to him play steel guitar 8-10 hours a day. Thought he was the best steel guitar player in the world. But he gave it up back in the 80s when the computers came about. I didn't really ever understand because I was a little girl, but I started singing in church, realized that all these other motherfuckers that were singing in church were really terrible, and I could do better than them. I'm so sorry. This is just the perspective of a little 11-year-old girl, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm just anyway.
That 11-year-old girl had a mouth like that back in.
No.
Oh.
The sailor mouth
Right.
came after I met the musicians, the real,
Gotcha.
the
There you
ones
go. Yeah.
that play the music. But anyway, I put on my little cassette tape, got up on stage and sang, and it was the most amazing feeling in the world. So, I was told my whole life that drugs were bad, okay? So I never did any drugs, but I love to sing, and I love being on stage. I went to college, ORU, which was a crazy Christian college, Oral Roberts University. Have you ever heard of it?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I went there on a vocal scholarship. I was an opera singer.
Oh,
And that was
wow.
some crazy shit. So
Cool.
my professor, the guy that heard me audition and gave me my scholarship, his name was, God damn it. Anyway, he was Sandy Patty's teacher. And Sandy Patty was some famous Christian singer, and I went to this crazy Pentecostal church. And so anyway, she was one of everybody's idol. So everybody thought that it was amazing. Yeah. And so that's how I got started in singing, decided there was no way I ever wanted to sing opera. So I got pregnant. And moved back to Indiana.
That's one way. That's one way to kill the opera buzz.
So came back here, went to college. Decided I was going to be a nurse, and then I sold to Mary Kay, and that was all terrible. And no, it was actually great. I made a lot of money selling Mary Kay. I learned everything that I know in sales from Mary Kay. Actually, I gave all of my credit of business knowledge to that organization. Made a lot of money. But I started recruiting and forgot about music until 2010. My daddy and I were sitting after my brother's wedding, and I was so proud of myself because, I had this dry cleaning business and I've gone back to recruiting, which I make really good money doing. And my dad looks at me and he says, but I bet there is something you would rather do if you could support yourself doing it. And I looked at him in the eyes. I said, of course, Daddy. If I could sing, that's what I would do. And my dad looked at me, this pilot, this man with an IQ of 179 that has no social skills, that doesn't take risks, that doesn't take chances, that only wants the best for me. He looks me in the eye and he says, then you pursue that with everything inside of you. And in that moment, I felt something physically move in my stomach, and I knew that I had to put my band together. And so that's what I did, Front Porch Prophets. And, my very best friend, husband at the time, Donnie Highland, he was gracious enough to take this crazy girl. I don't know if Greg, have you ever been with a woman learning how to be in her first band?
No, not her first band, but
okay. Well, bless you. Well, you didn't have to go through the trials that Donnie Howland did, but God bless that man. And I fell in love with Kevin.
Donnie Howland.
I do, and I Kevin McCreary, Donnie Highland, Frank Green. Those are my first exposure to musicians. Right?
Well, you got broken in. You got broken in real quick, didn't you?
And honestly, it was such a beautiful time of my life, getting to know all those guys in Ugly, and just love all of Joe. Miss Joe so much. I haven't seen him for a long time, but anyway, so I was so blessed being around all these amazing people, and when you're talking about the Louisville music scene and how it comes together, like every time I was at KevFest too. And when you see those people come together, we really do have something special here. Louisville, Kentucky is a special place. And then the amount of talent that we have in this region, to me, it's unparalleled. And people, for some reason, haven't been paying enough attention. But you know what? The smart ones have, and we've been investing in it. Kevin Hale, thank you so much for starting your passion and your dream with this business. This is an incredible outlet for you. So anyway, it's exciting to me to see these brilliant minds that said, you know what, I know what's worth preserving, and I'm going to make sure it goes on. So that's what we're doing, and it's exciting as hell. Was that a good diversion?
Now, with that said,
I went all the way off track.
You did.
No.
You gave Daddy some props, and actually, Greg, first ever shout out to Mary Kay on this show tonight.
Yeah,
I don't ever remember that happening. So.
Well, here's the thing. Something I took away from that is she's very, very close to her daddy, like all little girls are, should be.
Yeah.
And it seems to me like Daddy, and the way you described your dad, it seems to me like your dad is saying, you know what? I want to tell you to do something so you don't have certain regrets that he may have. That
is indeed. It is indeed. Like my father has, like, he knows that I have the studio or Tone Analog, right? And my mom, she's like, why the hell are you investing your money in this? This is ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. And my dad, he's like secretly hoping, like, I know you can do it. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. So no, I know my mom. I know my mom wants me to be successful, but
but that security, the want for you to have security is what keeps people from branching out and taking that chance. And that's kind of what happened with me. And I've actually had that reminded me of the conversations I just recently had with my son. If you've got a passion for something, go for it. Don't let the thought of just a security or something keep you from it. You're young. If you want something, go for it. So yeah, that's cool, man. I can relate that. Very good. Very good.
I want to make sure that all the musicians who are talented and passionate, or any of these artists, I want to make sure that we're all be able to have no barriers. So, thank you again, Kevin. And Greg.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Kevin.
Greg and Kevin. So.
No, I'm just a color commentator, man. This is you. This is your idea. You started. I was a guest at one time. Remember?
You were. You sleeping with the boss helped elevate you to co-host.
That's pretty exciting. All you gotta do is sleep with the ball.
Sleep with, yeah. Take that, Corpecca. All right. So you mentioned the Muse Cruise. Elaborate. What is that entailing? What's the whole rhyme and reason behind that?
So the intention is it's going to be an annual Derby Festival event the day before the Great Steamboat. It's a Tuesday night. It's the night before all of the industry professionals, pretty much Wednesday, the rest of the week is balls to the wall for the Derby week. So Tuesday night's like the last evening that actually the industry professionals can come and relax and maybe have fun. So we're going to be catering to all of the music venue owners. We've got a few labels. We're working on a fairly interesting MC that we hope to announce in the next few weeks. But, the whole purpose is just to get everybody together, hear the great music that comes out of Louisville on an annual basis. And, because it is our first event and it was an Eastwood and Earthtone analog production, we're the ones that are putting out the first 4 artists, but it's our hope that it will be a collective decision on who the artists of the year are that we put out on this boat every year.
That answers my question. I was getting ready to ask who was going to be there, but I guess that should be seen.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. How ironic, Greg, is it that Peter Searcy, who is with Eastwood, and here Desiree is involved with planned. It's just, how
so
stuff happens.
I believe in synchronicities. It's synchronicity, man.
It is.
Yep. You go out and look out. Stars have all aligned tonight. So.
Indeed.
I can't even see stars at my house.
Yeah.
Oh, they're out beautiful tonight. There's no clouds.
Cool.
All I get to see is the helicopters flying around looking for the dudes that's like broken in the house two doors down or something. Yeah, really. I mean, I got that last night. I was like, man, what's the light shining through my window? And I stepped
it wasn't
outside.
me, Greg.
Dude.
This time it wasn't me.
Okay, but this time it was the helicopter, and there was 2 police like walking down the street, and they had a dog, and they had flashlights. And they were, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back in the house.
Hey, Kevin, that's what they do right before they wipe your mind after the Men in Black. They give you a new memory.
That's it.
There you go.
It was a joke. It was a joke. It was a joke.
Will
you were abducted by aliens last night, Greg.
I started hearing. I went inside and started going colors. Y'all, you
mentioned
that,
Men in Black. Men in Black. You just flagged our show tonight. Big Brother's listening.
Yeah.
So
anyway. Hashtag.
All right, Desiree, check this out. What we do, one of the little quirky little pieces we do with each segment, or some of our segments, is what I call round of shots. I'm gonna throw 6 questions at you. It's a quick Q&A to kind of get to know you a little better. All in fun.
Okay.
Have fun with it. Number one, first concert you attended.
Aerosmith, Riverbend, and
nice.
That was like what, 2001?
Wow.
Was it? That 2001 was your first concert?
What are you, like 15, 17?
I lived a sheltered life. I lived a very sheltered life.
Okay, good save, Greg. She was only 15 in 2001. Okay, all right, I'll play along. All right, yeah, good save. Anyway, Greg, I know I've asked you, but remind me, what was your first concert, Greg?
Well, I'm not going to count the Dolly Parton with my parents, but Kiss.
Oh, yeah.
Kiss with AC/DC opening.
Not in 2001.
79.
Yeah.
At Freedom Hall with Bon Scott. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. That's how old I am.
Yeah. And that's how old Desiree is not, according to her first concert.
Now y'all are making me question myself. I really am. I'm trying to remember when I got married. It was the same year.
But Aerosmith is a freaking awesome start.
Oh, yeah. It is. Right.
They're like
it was just a very long time coming. It was a long time coming.
Good.
All right. Number 2, Desiree, and I need you to be 100% honest with us. It's us guys talking. Well, it's us guys.
I'll be 100% honest.
All right. What was the last picture you took with your phone? Come on.
I mean, it was probably of a bill or a receipt. That's really boring.
bunch of bullshit. She's
Man,
she's
you
not.
guys have vivid imagination for
No, we're realists. We're realists.
your
No,
realists.
Kevin,
If you wanted to find a
ask,
sexy picture of me, you'd have to go back several months. Several months.
Okay. All right. Well,
Kevin's the one that asked that question. I'm
you're right.
Mine,
And I'll keep asking that question until I get the
You will. I know you will.
right
you dirty
answer.
dog.
True answer. Oh, no. All right.
We'll have to think of a better way for you to structure your question so that you can get the answer you want.
All right. Well, how would you have asked that question then? How would you have asked?
When was the last time you took a sexy picture on your phone?
There you go.
Oh,
Correct.
there you go.
Beat Iraq.
Oh,
Beat Iraq.
I try to beat around I try to I gave you an out, is basically what you're
You
saying.
insulted the intelligence of your guest by asking the question.
Oh, you're so sweet.
All right.
See, I'm just direct.
Yeah, you're very okay. Give me number 3. Give me a celebrity that you would like to be stuck in an elevator with.
Oh my God, Patrick Swayze from Dirty Dancing.
Oh, I was going to say go.
Wait a minute. Let me rephrase that question. Give me a celebrity who is alive. Who is alive. Rest in peace, Patrick Swayze. He's talented.
Can I not still hold on to fantasy?
Yes, you can. You can.
Well,
right.
see,
So
on this show,
I don't watch
I want
TV.
reality
I don't
on
watch
this show.
TV.
I want reality on this show.
All right,
I mean,
let's go to
was
Game
the
of Thrones.
national
Let's go to Game of Thrones because it's the only reference to TV I've got, okay? And I would fuck the hell out of Jon Snow.
Jesus, there you go. See, that's the sound bites I want, Greg.
That's the X-rated soundbite that you.
Wait a minute, not Dinklage. Isn't it Peter Dinklage on the show?
I don't know who that is.
He's the
and
midget. I don't either. But anyways, all right.
Oh, that's not really his name, but yes, I love him.
Yes, it is.
But I would not.
That is his
I would
name.
not love him.
No, that is his name, Peter Dinklage.
That's how you pronounce it?
Yes, Peter. Yeah, Peter is pronounced Peter.
But you said Dinklage?
Dinklage. Right. Yeah.
That is fucking hilarious.
All right, we're Dinklage. Yeah, go figure. Number 4, Desiree, during a gig or when you're having sex, what is a pet peeve?
Ooh, right?
I don't know
okay.
if they're one and the same.
That's too many questions. There's no way those could even be the similar. So I think I have to divert into. I can only answer one question.
All right. Well, then let's stay mute. We're music here. What during a gig? What's a pet peeve?
What is a pet peeve? It is a pet peeve when you. It's a pet peeve whenever things don't go, perfect. But that's always not perfect. So music. No, I'm teasing. I have no idea. I really don't get pissed off when I'm singing because I have so much fun. I love being on stage. I'm always surrounded by great people that know how to do what they're doing. So I usually don't ever get upset.
Does it annoy you when people constantly want you to sing?
Sing Freebird? I don't get asked that.
No, okay. It was a joke. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. See. Yep. I'm really bad.
All right. Number 5. Number 5, because you're young. Aerosmith, 2001, young. All right. Number 5. Tell us about a scar you have. A scar that you have, and how did you get it?
I've got a scar on my lip that I got from sledding on the ice when I was 4. That I never used to see until I've gotten old. Now I see it.
Wait a minute. On your lip? Like your lip.
Yep.
Not above your lip. Your lip. I didn't know a lip could have a scar. You could have a scar on your lip.
Touches. It's like right above my lip, I guess.
Right
above. It touches my lip.
Okay. All right.
My son has the same thing right above his lip from a dog bite.
Yeah. Not shooting from the lip, above the lip.
Indeed.
Okay.
Shooting above the lip.
Shooting above the lip. Yeah. All right. Last one for you, DT. If you had access to a time machine and could go anywhere in your past, living past, pre-birth past, all the way in the past to hang out with Patrick Swayze, whatever. Where would you go?
Man, I would go hang out with Nikola Tesla.
Nice. Tesla.
Nikola Tesla.
Yeah.
The dude that fucking wanted to give free energy to the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd hang out with him.
Mm-hmm.
He was at the World's
Is
Fair
he,
when it was in Louisville.
What?
Yeah.
Say it again, Craig.
Yeah.
What did you say?
The World's Fair when it was in Louisville. Did you know that?
No, what was that?
Oh
when was
gosh, it was a long
prior
time
to 2001.
But listen,
yeah.
Prior to Louisville being born.
No.
Yeah.
No,
everything. Nothing existed. Nothing existed for Desiree prior to 2001.
Yeah, it was in '99. It was in '99. No, man, from like 4th Street to like I forget
really?
Down there by St. James Court. That whole area used to be this huge complex where they had this fair at one time, way back in, I don't know, I'd have to look it up and see, but yeah, I read about it in some book, but I don't retain very well because I smoke pot. So.
Is that what's wrong with all of us?
Yes.
Yeah.
That would, yeah. Actually, it's the miracle drug, so is it really, I know besides it being illegal, as our next guest is on hold and he has something to do with law enforcement, Greg, it is a miracle drug.
Yeah.
It is.
They didn't know that back in the day when I was, so it's all good.
It's all good.
Bonds, it doesn't scare me none, the law enforcement thing. I'm good.
Yeah. You ain't afraid of no cop, right?
No, I am. I'm afraid of Jake Badger.
Jake. He's already getting some shout out, some love before we turn his mic on. All right, Desiree, that's the round of those were the round of shots. Share with us, Desiree, all of your social media. Where can people find you, stalk you? Go on and give us your home address so some of us can have a flashlight like Greg seems to have neighbors who peek through his blinds with the light, in case, Anyway, go.
Hilarious. Well, you can just contact me. The easiest way is going to be go to geniuslovecompany.org. Sign up for our newsletter there. That goes all directly to me.
Dang,
you're on Facebook too, right? You're on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. Yeah, but I don't know what the address is.
Your band has its web page.
TheStarryNightBluesBand.com.
Right. Okay.
Yep, and then EarthTonyAnalog.com if you want to come record a song or a whole album. If you have just an artist and they don't have a band, we've got all of it.
Very cool.
It's my favorite.
Very cool.
Thank you guys so much. Had a lot of fun.
Thank you.
You made it fun. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Night.
Have a good night. See you. Desiree Thayer hanging with us tonight. Good stuff.
Yep.
Aerosmith, 2001. Her first concert, Greg.
I know it.
You know what's funny? Her first concert was in 2001. Our next guest, 2001. I think he beat that. I think he went to a concert prior to 2001. And this cat is still in his mid-20s. Jake Badger.
What's going on?
What's up?
Up against the wall now. Spread your legs.
Spread your legs. Speaking of spreading them, Jake, before we get into some Wildwood stuff. Greg, did you happen to see the video, a music video that was released today that Jake has an appearance in?
No, man, I have not. I worked till about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock tonight. I haven't had a chance to do anything.
All right, we'll share that with you later. Props to Jake. Props to the song itself. The song, I did, turn YouTube on and listen only to the song and stop watching the video. The video obviously is it really is. And again, Kevin Cummings he's an amazing talent. So, but yeah, Jake has a nice little moment in the video, and though I thought you just seemed a little too serious, Jake. That's not the Jake Badger I know. You had this real serious look.
Funny, we took a bunch of different shots when we recorded that scene, and there were scenes of us like laughing and like going back and forth, but somehow the one where I look like super pissed and serious is the one that made it.
Damn.
But,
that would be it.
It was a lot of fun.
Would be it. It was, or I'm sure, yeah, because Tiffany, the the actress model who was in the video. She's going to be, shameless plug for next Monday night. She's going to be one of our guests, sharing some of her work, local talent. She is, I'll say she's absolutely stunning, and that's looks alone, but she's very talented too. It looks like she's got a lot of good stuff going on for her, down the road. But
yeah, Tiffany's awesome. She's beautiful, and she is just as cool as she is pretty. Like we all had a lot of fun, and I've known Tiffany for a long time. I actually used to work at 4th Street with her, so to be able to shoot a video with a bunch of Louisville peeps and bring my own lead singer from my other group into the mix was pretty awesome. And
I got
Antonio, who did the video.
Right, go ahead.
He is like top of the line out of Louisville. Like that dude does amazing work.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you without cutting into your Wildwood time. Is I did want to ask, the video, Dusty, is it Lee? Dusty Lee?
Dusty Lee.
Lee, which Greg, he'll be coming on the show down the road. Once you see, I'll send you the video, Greg, and you'll hear it, see it. That's the truth is that's just a genre of music that I'm honestly not hip to or just involved with. But the song is amazing. It's a great song, and how they blend, the spoken words, that rap, if you will, and then Kevin with his vocals, and the video itself is very cool. So I'm hoping, Craig, to get some of those guys on the show down the road to expand our music horizon here. So
that song kind of came together. Dusty's had it for a while. He's been working on this record all summer, and there was actually a different guy that sang on the hook, and I was like, you should have Kevin come out and sing this hook. I was like, I bet he would kill it. And of course, Dusty, he loves Wildwood, and he's a big fan of Kevin, so we lined it up with Kevin. He came out, and I remember Dusty texted me. It was like 2 a.m. He's like, dude, listen to this shit. And I think Kevin just really sold the hook on that. And Dusty's super talented. And then the other guy in the video is Struggle Jennings, who is Waylon Jennings' grandson.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
It's funny.
Is he local?
Waylon,
is he local too?
No.
Or is Struggle?
Struggle's from Nashville. Waylon Jennings always called Struggle his black grandson that he never had. But he's been doing really good. He's doing a lot of stuff, and he was signed with, I think he was signed with Yellow Wolf. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure he was on that label, and he might still be. But they just launched a big tour with Struggle and Dusty, and they're touring all over the place. And it kind of sucks because due to my day job, I can't go out with them all the time. So.
And Dusty
cool to work with those guys.
Yeah, Dusty's local too. I want to say PRP kid or something like that, or some in the southwest part of.
Yeah, south end of Louisville, I believe, out Dixie Highway area. So
right, yeah. So
he's a hustler.
Once again, proving how fucking talented this city is. It's amazing.
Baby, the South End.
South End rules. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
All right. We've did our part to promote some other people. Let's talk Jake Badger, Wildwood. Jake, first off, how you been? I can't remember last time we talked. Work.
It's been a while since I've been on. It's weird.
Yeah, it's been a while. Greg,
it's been a while.
Kevin must have paid some of that money that he owes you.
Yeah, if Jake hasn't been on within the last month, I take offense that I don't hear from. Yeah, he only needs me, talks to me when he wants me on, when he wants to be on the show. So, but all right, Jake's one of my buddies. Now, Jake, for starters, continue shout out to you, local law enforcement, for all you guys do. Thanks. Say that with all due respect. So
appreciate
shout
that,
out
man.
to the men in blue. Tell us what's up with in Wildwood.
Well, if you've been following us, you've seen that we've been going through some change. Stacy recently stepping away from the band, which was really hard for all of us, but I think it's for the best on both ends. We love Stacy to death. She's like our little sister, and
Good girl.
You know,
Good
she belongs out front. She's an amazing
Mhm.
singer and talent, and you know, she just wanted to do a little more than be a backup singer, which I totally understand, and we support her 110%, and we're gonna miss her, but you know, the show must go on. So we've been working to you know, keep up to par with what we've been doing. We also had Andrew Asher leave. He moved to New York to play for Eddie James, who's a big gospel guy. So, you know, it's cool to see our guys leave and go into, you know, even bigger opportunities. So can't blame him on that one.
Wait a minute, Andrew, he went to New York? I thought he went to California. No, not California?
Yeah, he went to L.A.
Yeah,
Okay.
California.
He was going to go to New York and ended up going to L.A. Yeah.
All right.
But
Okay.
we have recently brought on Pat Quinney, who I've known Pat forever. Me and him used to play in the music scene 10 years ago. He used to play for Thomas Medicine, him and his brother. Pat's been a friend of ours for a while, and he actually plays guitar for Shotgun Serenade right now too. So he's been helping us out.
Cool.
We got a few gigs coming up that he's gonna do with us, and we haven't decided what we're doing as far as a permanent replacement. Good chance that it'll be Pat, but right now we're just kind of playing it by ear and seeing how it works out for both ends. We got the big show at Baxter's coming up. We'll be back down in Nashville next month, and we got some other dates pending in Knoxville and Indianapolis too. So we're ready to kick off the year.
I gotta ask, does Wildwood need a fifth member? Because there's a lot of talent and a lot of great sound, great you know, chemistry, that core right there. Do you guys need to per se have more than the four?
Well, could we get away with it? Yes, I think we could. There's some stuff that, you know, requires two lead players or two, you know, two big guitar presence. But something that we were looking into, we really want whoever is going to fill that spot to have, you know, kind of more than one expertise, and that's where Pat comes into play. He's a really good guitar player. He's a great keys player, and he's a great harmony singer. So something that you'll see this weekend is we've been working on some three-point harmony stuff, or three-part harmony stuff, and it's sounding damn good. So we've only been working on it for a couple of weeks now, so it's coming along really quick. So I can't wait to see where it is, you know, and 2 months down the road. As far as the female aspect of it, that's kind of a position that we've been playing back and forth with, if we want to fill that spot or if we're just going to have somebody kind of play it by ear. But all that's in the works. A lot of stuff going on with us right now.
Yeah. Looking ahead, short term, you mentioned gigs in Nashville, Indianapolis. You guys are consistently starting to travel, branch out. What is 2017 lining to be like for you guys?
Well, our main focus this year is to, you know, expand out of Louisville. I felt like, you know, we've made a pretty good imprint here at home, and we're really focusing on bringing our social media up, because that's just as important as going out and playing shows nowadays. So from us, you'll see a big uprise in our social media presence. And then, like I said, we're hitting the road. We're going to, we'll be doing the pregame show for the Nashville Predators at the Bridgestone Arena in February. I think it's the 12th. I'd have to double check on my calendar. And then the night after that, we're playing at Whiskey Jam, which is an awesome event every Monday night in Nashville. It's where all the Nashville locals go. Matter of fact, Host Wendell, I just seen him with Dirk Bentley Friday night. He had a Whiskey Jam T-shirt on, so it's pretty cool. But it's a big singer-songwriter night, original music only, all Nashville, like all the local people. Not like a tourist spot like on Broadway. It's at there's Winners and Losers Bar that's owned by George Strait's manager, and it's at Winners. And we went down there when we were recording back in October, and that place was just wall-to-wall packed, and it was a blast.
Cool.
So we can't wait to get back down there.
Well,
go
ahead.
Speaking of recording, we just finished our first single. We're going to do a video for it. We're hoping to launch it a little closer to spring, but it's real like 90s influence and kind of a middle finger to country radio, so I think a lot of people will like it.
Well, nice.
I know I will.
Yeah.
We actually started over after going to Nashville. We weren't super happy with how some of the stuff turned out. So we decided to start fresh here at home with Jordan Haynes, who did our first album. And Jordan has really expanded his expertise and experience over the past 2 years since we worked with him last. And I've actually been on a few other albums in the meantime, and that guy's quality of work has just continued to go through the roof. And we're super happy with the work done with him, and I can't wait for everybody to hear it.
Now, I have to admit something, and people who are very close to me know that, and I say this with all due respect to the Wildwoods, Shane Dawson, all the local country music acts. I'm not per se a country music fan, but I love this local sound. I love you guys. I love Shane, all the Chase Skinner. I'm not a country music fan, and I hear the stories when it comes to Nashville, and Greg, you probably can chime in too, that Nashville dictates so much of what an artist does or wants to do or does. Actually, it does. That, I mean, you guys, you guys, it leaves you with little to no say so. Is that is that the truth, real truth with Nashville?
I think it all depends on who you work with. The higher up you go, the more they're going to be like, this is the way we do it, and that's the only route you have to go with.
Right.
The guy we worked with was great, really easy to work with. I can't say anything bad about him. We had a blast, and in the end, it just wasn't what we were looking for, and so we decided to. We're super picky about what we put out, and how
really
how the guitar sounds, and anything, all the particulars. So it was a tough decision, and we had to eat some money and decide to go with a fresh start. But I think it's going to pay off in the long run. And I have to say that something good about the guys that I play with. We've always been real particular about our stuff and real crucial about the decisions that we made. And so far, being like that's really paid off for us. So I think we'll be all right in the end.
Based on your knowledge and experience in Nashville?
I don't have any knowledge or any experience from Nashville other than just going there and playing some gigs. Really. I think Jake probably has nailed it. But no, I don't have any knowledge as far as being involved in any type of record contract and anybody being in control of what we're going to do. So no, I don't know just what the hearsay.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Well,
so Jake. Yeah, go ahead.
In today's day and age now, anybody can record. I mean, you can throw $100 cheap system on your laptop and record a song, and I mean, it's going to sound like a $100 recording, but anybody can record. So the good thing is, it's not like the old days where you had to go to Nashville to record and pay shit tons of money. Like, you can find really good quality people here at home that's right there with the Nashville sound. So that's what we're doing.
Good.
Yeah, and kudos to y'all for doing that, man, because the one thing that I do know is that things are kind of cookie cutter out there.
Yeah.
And you got to have a certain sound done, the song's got to be done a certain way, and it does kind of take away from your creativity for the artist to really do what they want to do to make that sound, because they're out there. You're right, they are out there kind of saying, well, that's not how you need to do it to be on the radio these days. You can't do it like that. You got we're going to throw this mandolin and this banjo in there, and that'll get you on the radio. But I don't want a mandolin or banjo.
Or a fiddle.
And something I see a lot of artists do, and there's been several around here too. Like they just want to have the title of Nashville recording artist so bad.
Exactly.
Around.
Yeah. And that's fun.
And to us, like, I don't care where we record as long as it sounds good. I'll be, Dixie Highway recording artist or
there you go,
Charlestown recording artist. I don't care where it comes from as long as the quality's there. So
yeah,
well, you know what?
Man, hold on.
Check this out. Yeah, check this out, Greg. I'm glad Jake just brought that up because I'm gonna say this, and it may come across as like I'm stepping on some people's toes or being a party pooper or killing a buzz. But when I've seen, in the Louisville area, we've had people on this show who labeled themselves "quote unquote" Nashville recording artists. At first it sounds impressive, but the more we've been doing shows, Greg, the more I know about music. That's like me going and getting asking Jake to, give me, one of those badges, Jake, that you've had that's been in your trunk for 20 years. Can I have that and put it on my shirt for forever? I mean, are we selling these people a little short, or are we giving, or is it,
No,
the reality is
man,
they're taking too much
the
credit.
reality is it's a lie, is what it is. Because if you live in Louisville, you're a Louisville recording artist. If you live in Clarksville, Indiana, it don't matter where you go to record, but you're from Clarksville.
Yes.
You're from Clarksville. You're a Clarksville recording artist. People think it gives them some kind of status. And I was once involved in a band that will go nameless, and now they call themselves a Nashville recording artist, but they're not. They're not. They live in Kentucky, and they go to Nashville, and they've never even recorded in Nashville. Well, they have. I take that back. They did record, but they don't live there, man. Good point, Jake.
Yeah, you have these guys that'll go down and they'll record in somebody's basement in Nashville, and that they're a Nashville recording artist. I mean, I guess technically I could say that I recorded in Nashville. Now I'm a Nashville recording artist.
You are. You're.
I don't want to bring that attention to Nashville. I want to bring. We recorded music, but I want to bring, hey, we're out of Louisville. There's a lot of talent here. Come out. Talent's a dozen down in Nashville, but it is up here too. So we want to represent.
Check this out, Greg. Right. Check this out, Greg. Not only is Jake Badger a Nashville recording artist, he is a shooting from the lip attention whore too. And
yes,
I'm okay with that.
I'm guilty
because Jake is Jake in town. I mean, Wildwood is like, they got they're sitting on. Now, Jake, where would you rank? There's a great question for you as we're rounding third and heading from home here. I know Jake's in Wildwood. You're very central point of the band, core part of the band. If you were not in Wildwood and you were paying attention, you were giving me the country acts in town, what, just like the AP poll, where would Wildwood rank country music status if we did a poll in Louisville area?
Come on, man. You can't.
I'm all. Stop, Greg. You're trying to save face because you're a fellow musician. I'm a host of a show that wants a soundbite. Jake, answer the question.
Well,
if you would have come on in 30 more days.
I'll tell you what. I'm real proud of my guys and what we've done, and I'm super blessed to be able to share the stage with so much talent. And those guys.
You know what, Greg?
Look good.
He is giving me.
Let me finish.
Greg. All right, go ahead. Because I got a great response. But go ahead.
There's a lot of good stuff in this city. There ain't no doubt about it. I got a lot of friends in the city that are just phenomenal at what they do, and I'd be proud to put Wildwood up at the top of with anybody in the city, and not be ashamed of it. I mean, I'm really proud of the work we've done, and it's hard to be biased, hard not to be biased, but I mean, we paid our dues and we've worked our ass off, and I think we're definitely up there in the top 10, top 5 acts if we were to put a poll up. So
you're starting to nauseate me. See, that response, Greg, is if I was to ask Barack Obama his an answer, he would have given that eloquent, politically correct answer. Now I'm gonna call you out here, Jake. You didn't vote for Hillary, did you?
Let's see. Hell no.
No. Okay. Wait a minute. The person I'm pretty damn sure you voted for, assume his personality right now. Now answer that question.
Well, I would say that we're the best damn band in the world and nobody else.
Exactly. See, that's where. See, we can mix in some political humor and stuff on the show. So.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah.
It's all fun.
But,
like I said, this city's got a bunch of great talent, and we're just glad to have our name out there thrown around in the mix of all of it.
And the Wildwood name is. It definitely is. All right. Thanks for coming on. Good luck this weekend. Wildwood is at Baxter 942 with the Hinkins sisters opening up for you guys.
Good old Hinkins sisters. It's gonna be a damn good show, and can't wait to do another gig with those ladies. And we'll also be celebrating my dad's birthday, so old Jer Bear is gonna be throwing down out there. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Nice.
I met your
Love
dad.
Jer.
Cool, man. Yeah, tell him happy birthday.
That's one of my favorite people. All right, Jake. Thanks for hanging with us, brother.
All right, man. Thanks for having me on.
See you, Jake.
Later, man.
Jake Badger, Wildwood, with the weekend promotion gig coming up with them, their band Wildwood, and the Hinkins sisters. Baxter 942. Greg, you got to work with me, man. I fights to accommodate your politically correctness. You got to just, it's yin and yang. Give me my yin part a little bit. But you said it right. You were dead on about this Nashville, quote unquote, Nashville recording artist. I've been wanting to ask that question for a long time.
That's how I see it, and that's I may not be. My opinion may not be as popular to the people that's actually using it. And I'm sure they'll have another side to it or another response to that. But that's how I see it.
I get it. You want to, you're a musician. You want to say the right things. I get to kind of venture away from that a little bit because I'm a fan. Yeah. So, Greg, I know it's late. I know you got to run. I'm gonna let you go while I promote some local music. Have a good night, sir.
Thank you, man. I'll talk to you later next week.
All right, people, let's give some shout outs to, again, the local musicians. Support local music with that hashtag, support local music. Social media plugs real quick. You can find our show on iTunes and YouTube. Subscribe to our shows there, please. We're on blogtalkradio.com, Twitter at The Shooting Lip, my Twitter at KevinHale423, Greg at Greg_Unthank. You can also like us, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, Shooting from the Lip. For Greg Unthank, our guest tonight, Peter Searcy, Desiree Thayer, Jake Badger. We wish everyone a good night and a pleasant Monday. Peace out, Louisville.
At no time were any animals or people hurt during this presentation of Shooting from the Lip.
This is a the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. Oh, I'm a woman, baby, that's me. Walk into a room just as cool as you please. Into a man, the fellas stare and they fall down on their knees. And then they swarm around me like a hive of honeybees. Oh, I say it's in the fire in my eyes, the flash of my teeth, the swing of my waist, the joy in my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. Oh yeah, oh I'm a woman, and baby, that's me. It's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the right of my breast, the grace of my Now you understand just why my head's not back. I don't try to jump about or have to talk real loud. 'Cause when you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. Oh, I say it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hands, the need of my care. 'Cause I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. Oh yeah, oh I'm a woman, baby, that's me. It's in the palm of my hands, if I need all my care. Phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal woman, baby, baby,